Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into another episode of Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is episode number 22. It's called Marples. Thanks for downloading and listening faithfully each and every week. Make sure you tell family, friends, neighbors, coworkers all about AFDE show. We do appreciate your faithful listening to the program. We, of course, are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, located 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and historic downtown Libertyville. Remember, you can connect with the show on social media at AFDE Show on Twitter, also facebook.com/AFDE Show. You can email anytime, afdshow@gmail.com. He's Ferrari. I'm Abaticola. Thanks for being here. Hello, Jason. How was your week so far? It's Thursday for us. Thursday, January 25. January 25.
Is it 25th? Yeah.
I think it's today's 25th.
I was just telling, first big experience this week was my wife returned home after 3 weeks in Florida.
Yep, you found her. You found Trish.
Yeah, she
found her way home.
We located her in the Miami area. We were able to relocate her back here.
Come back to the cold.
Yeah, exactly. Like I got in the house and the heat was at 74, and I'm like, babe. She's like, it's not my feet. I was like, yeah, you're an asshole. You were in Florida for 3 weeks. But yeah, so she's home. But I did say to her that doesn't this week feel like it's been 7 days? Because when I woke up this morning, it was only Thursday at work. I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
it's been a long work week.
It has been a long week. I spent the day today in Milwaukee. I went up to Milwaukee to visit some stores up there.
I found that out on the Instagram.
Yeah, which is easier actually than getting to Naperville. So it actually works out well. If you're like, oh, going to Milwaukee, yeah.
Did you take photos of those two locations, or did you stop? Not Six Flags. There were more than two. I'm referring to Mars Cheese Castle and Brat Stop.
I pulled in. I got off 94 and pulled in the parking lots just to take the pictures.
Take the photo. Okay.
Yeah, because I timed it to see how far away those places are from my apartment. Six Flags is 6 minutes away. The Brat Stop is 18 minutes away. And Mars Cheese Castle is about 26 minutes from my apartment. So.
Outside of when we visited you, us leaving the keys in the apartment and having to turn around, it would have been about 20 minutes for us to get to that area, and instead it took us about 40 minutes.
Yeah, because I remember as a kid growing up in the Western Burbs and driving up to Six Flags, it always felt like it was a 6-day trip. Like Six Flags just seemed like it took forever to get to.
But it was in that like vacation vein, right? You know, where you go and it's a family trip. It's not, it's probably like 45 minutes. But
I went up there for school stuff. So like you're in a school bus,
a slow ass bus.
Yeah, and it seemed like it just took forever. And you're driving to Six Flags, and it's like, oh my gosh, where is this place? And it literally is 6 minutes from my apartment. Like I walk out my apartment, get in my car, I'm 6 minutes away from.
That's amazing.
It's terrible. But, being close to the Brat Stop and Mars Cheese Castle, that is a very good thing. I had some stuff to come back and do this afternoon. Otherwise, I was going to stop on the way back at Mars Cheese Castle and get myself a Bloody Mary and some cheese spread and some cheese curds and hang out at the castle.
Honestly, cheese is in the name, and you would think that's the greatest thing you can get there. No, those are some of the best Bloody Marys I've ever had. Ever.
And if you've had one there, then you would rank it as one of the top Bloody Marys ever.
Because, if you think about when me and my group of friends would pass Mars Cheese Castle. Remember back in the day, actually probably before we knew each other. Yeah, it was definitely before we knew each other. My parents had a condo in Lake Geneva.
Yep.
So we would just take that trip back and forth. And every time we would go, we would pass Mars Cheese Castle. And one time, finally, we're on our way back. Everyone's dying, because I think we talked about this in episode 1, maybe, whenever we were talking about concerts. So 1 or 2?
Yeah.
2. When I was, wasted, and that was good times. So we were coming back, and I'm like, does anyone want to go like home right now? I just want to go get like an omelet.
Yeah.
So we went in there to get cheese and an omelet, not to start drinking. And then we look over at the table next to us, and these Bloody Marys just looked awesome. We started drinking those. I'm like, oh my God. And then the food was really good.
Yeah.
Like, that place is tight. So anytime we would come back from Lake Geneva, we would stop there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an afternoon of it really soon here, actually, where I go to the Brat Stop and eat, and then just drive up a little further to Mars Cheese Castle and have some Bloody Marys and just kind of hang out. So, and maybe go back to the Brat Stop after the Cheese Castle for another brat and another beer. Maybe grab some beers on the way back
Maybe
home.
we need to figure out like home logistics. Like maybe mom's traveling and you don't have the dudes. Because I would love to join you on that adventure.
Yeah, well, you just missed Mom traveling. She traveled last weekend, so maybe that'll happen again soon if all the planets align properly for Maddie. And,
instead, at some point, Matt and I will have Bloody Marys here and I don't know, some cheese.
No, so that was fun. So drove to Milwaukee, which saw was actually an easier drive for me than going to Naperville, where the office is. Had a great weekend last weekend, actually, with the dudes. Took the dudes to a big bounce house in Buffalo Grove, a big bounce house place, a park that had like 12 giant bounce houses. That was really, really fun. One of the other little dudes from our soccer team, little Leo, was out there with us hanging out. So Leo was on my soccer team. He was my guy. I call him Wheels. I nicknamed him Wheels.
Like, you mean this past?
Yeah, past weekend.
Okay.
Took the dudes out there and did that. Had a play date with Wheels. So that was cool. One of my favorite little guys. I nicknamed him Wheels because when one of the drills I did, we used to run around, do laps to warm up, me and 4-year-olds. Yeah. And I actually, one time, realized I needed to actually put some effort into running to get away from Leo. Like the other kids I could run away from without effort and even do it backwards. And then the dude was on my heels.
Wheels is a perfect nickname.
I'm like, what's going on here, fella? You're running too fast for 4 years old.
Hey, fella.
I got to put some effort into this?
Fella.
Yeah, I know I'm old and slow. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
I'm breaking into a sweat here, running laps with 4-year-olds because this guy's chasing me. So that was good. Tomorrow, I know, I think I mentioned this and you might have laughed at it, but The Greatest Showman, I'm going to go see that tomorrow. Excited about that.
We talked about it last week.
My guy Zach Efron.
I just didn't have really any interest in watching it.
I do. I want to see Wolverine and High School Musical swing from a tightrope together.
Pay for it. Maybe I'll watch it at home if it's on cable.
Right, or download it illegally. Piracy is not a
my
victimless crime.
My neighbor does.
That's what it is. Piracy is not a victimless crime. There are victims.
FBI warning.
That's right. What else is going on this week? Well, there's some stuff in the news.
Well, the Oscar. Oh yeah. Go. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Sorry.
I want to mention this real quick too, because exciting news. If you're a football fan, the XFL is making a return in 2020. Vince McMahon. It will not be a part of WWE, but he sold off about 1,300 shares of WWE to raise $100 million, which is going to go towards the new XFL, which will start in January of 2020. And it's going to have 8 teams with 10 leagues. The cities are not yet known.
Wait, what?
8
teams with 10 leagues.
Oh, I'm sorry. 8 cities with a 10-game schedule.
Right.
That's what I meant to say. But the cities are not yet disclosed or even talked about, I imagine, or even know. But they're going to make it they've talked about
how political that shit's got to be.
All teams are going to stand for the national anthem. There will not be any other discussions except football. It's going to be very family friendly. So we know exactly what they're targeting, and they mentioned technology and safety is going to be a priority for players. Listen. There'll be a niche there for people, and if it works out, great. God bless you. I'm not going to watch. I watch the NFL.
I watched the XFL when it was on. You know what? I actually hope, I have hope for it. I'm glad that it's coming back because I don't know, the NFL, when there's not a churn. I mean, this year we did have some teams go from worst to first.
Yep.
Toilet teams in the division.
Rams were to
playoff teams. That's fine, and that's great, and that's the kind of story that I want in the NFL. I'm so sick. I don't know. You know what? And we're going to get into this in a later segment when it comes to certain players, but dynasties, when we were younger, seemed cool to me. I don't know how I feel about them now. Like, they're annoying. You know, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't like the teams who are constantly at the top.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't like their fans.
I was talking today about the Eagles and the Patriots, and I don't like the Patriots. I don't have a good reason to dislike the Patriots. I just know that I just
jealousy.
don't like.
I just don't like them.
It's got to be. That's what I said too. I'm like, because the Bears have been pretty much bad my entire adult life.
Yeah. With
the exception of a few good seasons and a few fluke seasons when you look at Dick Duran's 13-win season. But it's mostly been bad. And to see that they're going to go for their third championship in 4 years for the second time.
The 8th Super Bowl.
Yeah, 8th Super Bowl for Brady and Belichick. I mean, that's, I'm sure it is jealousy. I'm sure it's obnoxious fans. It's the fact that, I know my team is just so bad. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it.
It's a lot of
I don't like the Eagles being there either, because I think the Eagles fans are some of the worst sports fans in the country. I mean, Philadelphia fans in general.
At the very least, I appreciate the story. I would love it. I would love it so much more
if Nick Foles wins
Super Bowl. If Wentz were there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man, it'd be so much fun to watch that kid.
But how crazy would it be if? Because the MVP talk is all for the regular season. What if, because he's in contention for an MVP. That'd be great if he won an MVP without playing a playoff game with his team winning a Super Bowl too. Yeah. Would be awesome.
Oh, dude, you gotta at the end of the year sit down and be like, yeah. But
so that's the news of the day. XFL is coming back in 2020.
To go back to that, because we derailed into Patriots bashing or whatever you want to call it, but I'm hoping that the XFL, the last time around, it was showy, right?
Right.
I mean, you still had some really good players in it. I mean, these are...
Rod Smart came out of it.
Oh, my God. He hate me. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm hoping, like the NFL Europe was, I'm hoping that this becomes... like a farm league for the pros.
No, that
like
would be great.
Developmental league.
But the issue I have with it, and what I have with the XFL, was it was associated with at the time the WWF.
Right. No, because it was
I don't take Vince McMahon serious though.
Right.
Now, if he's going to make a serious sports league out of this,
yes,
fine, great, then go for it. I'm all for it.
Owners that make sense, coaches that make sense. I mean, like back then he did like retreads and stuff, and I don't care. I will watch it if it does become that.
Yeah,
I would like to
serious
see
sports
like
league.
Undrafted free agents who are good,
right?
But the NFL, hardest place to get to,
right?
I would like to see developmental players, because like the old USFL and like Canada and like NFL Europe, there are people who are absolute studs who just did not make the cut. Maybe the one time they tried, but can go and they can get better. They can play against other people who are at a higher level of football. Like, I think it'll be cool. I just hope it's not the cheesy, like, wrestling is so fucking lame. Like, right. I just hope it's not like that.
That's what I want. Yeah. I want it to be serious, and and he's obviously not rushing into it, which is good. You got a couple years to plan and sit through it and think through it. So
2020, that's great.
That's a good sign. So that's a big news. I know a couple things here that you haven't followed because it's baseball stuff, but I'll just mention it briefly.
Do it.
Within the Cubs division, the Milwaukee Brewers made a couple huge moves today. They traded for Christian Yelich, who's outfielder from the Marlins, who is a 25-year-old outfielder who is a superstar talent. The Brewers traded a package of 4 or 5 prospects to get Yelich. Miami is dismantling their team and their superstars, so now they added Yelich on the drive out here this evening. They also signed free agent outfielder Lorenzo Cain, who is a World Series winner with the Kansas City Royals, to a 5-year, $80 million deal.
Oh boy.
So they are stocking up their outfield, adding talent. They were, remember, leading the Cubs division last year for a long time. Were very competitive until August, and then died off. And the Cubs really made their run in August when it mattered. So the Brewers making some moves. The Cardinals obviously making moves. The Pirates making moves to get talent off their team earlier this offseason already. So it's going to be a fun, competitive division. But the Brewers making some moves today in trading for Christian Yelich and also signing Lorenzo Cain, who I know a lot of Cubs fans that I spoke to would have loved the idea of the Cubs signing Cain. So he goes to the division rival Brewers. So that's our sports talk. Earlier this week too, a couple other things I did.
We have some more sports talk coming.
I did and radio interview with my guy Joe Dredge, who interned for me at the station,
right, yeah.
And then worked at the Score, and then he is now running a station in Rockford, a news talk, 1440 WROK. His co-host in the morning, usually, so he's like Joe's like the co-host on the morning show. The host of the show was out unexpectedly, called in sick that morning. So Joe, I woke up to a text from Joe. He's like, "Hey, I'm flying solo. Any chance you could come on and help me out for a segment?" So I did that 1440 WROK. So thanks to Joe for having us on. Mentioned the podcast, and of course he listens to the show and does enjoy it.
Was what you said on the social medias what you actually talked about, or were you making jokes?
Well, that was a joke, but then when we were just catching up as I came on the show, and I said, "Hey, this isn't why you called. I was told we were going to talk SAG Awards and red carpet fashion." We then did talk about the SAG Awards briefly,
did you watch
but not red carpet fashion. I did. I turned it on.
Dude, you've been watching.
Oh, I've always
like
watched award
every
shows.
Show. Okay,
yeah, I've always watched
because that's
them.
your dream job.
I like them, and I enjoy them, and I like seeing the actors, and I like getting angry at the acceptance
my
speeches.
Ass, you like seeing the actresses.
I turned off the Vikings-Eagles game when it was just completely boring to watch, and I turned the SAG Awards on just in time to see Morgan Freeman receiving the Life Achievement Award. And I'm like, all right, perfect timing. Yeah, so I turn on to the montage. He gets introduced. He comes up and just gave one of the most lame, just really boring and short acceptance speeches. I had great expectations going into it. His speech was terrible. Then it was followed up by Olivia Munn and some other actors who I didn't know who she was just by face. They were presenting some awards. They were horrible. Just the terrible writing, and the timing was bad, and they weren't funny. The delivery was terrible.
They read the prompter the whole time.
Yeah, then I was like, wow, okay, now why am I watching it? Because this is terrible so far. But then I did.
You asked yourself that question.
Yeah, but I saw Gary Oldman win an award for Churchill, the church, Our Darkest Hour. I love him. He's great. So that it's fine. But I like watching the SAG Awards because I like to see the hosts if the shows do have a host. And this one was the first year they actually had a host. Kristen Bell, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's the one married to Dax Shepard. Yeah. So she was the host. It's the first time the SAG Awards ever had a host.
She's Sarah Marshall.
Yes, correct. Which is a fantastic film. So I always like to watch the host and say, geez, I could do better than that. And I walked away from that show going, yeah, I certainly could do better than that. Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying I could do better than an actual actor or actress who hosts an award show.
Those of you who haven't listened to every episode of this show, specifically the beginning, Matt's dream job is to be an award show host.
I would like to host an award show, yes, one time at least.
No, I think you want to be all of them. He wants to be all of them, but one would be a nice start. Too.
Yeah, one would be fine. If I could just do it one time, that would be great. The Oscars
pretty funny,
would
like
be...
you do. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna keep rolling it.
Yeah,
just keep rolling the dice with Matt. He's doing all of them.
That's fine.
You're gonna do the video game awards. You don't even play video games. Like whatever.
That's fine. I'll do them all. So yeah, watch the SAG Awards and which brings us into this because of course when the Oscar nominations come out.
Yes.
We also get the nominations for the Razzies. The Razzies, of course, the exact opposite accolade that you want from the Oscars. Razzies are the worst movies, worst actors, worst actresses.
I don't know. I mean, I can't completely nail it down time frame wise, but this may be like the 5th year when the Oscar nominations come out that Matt and I exchanged maybe 1 or 2 texts that just say, yeah, I've seen none of these, or I've seen one of these.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
So you've been seeing more.
I have been.
Well, I don't know if they're the Oscar ones, but you've been seeing way more movies now.
So the nominees this year for the Best Picture for the Oscars, that is, I've seen one, which was Get Out.
Right. Yeah, I still haven't watched that.
It still has got one of the best kill scenes ever of our guy Bradley Whitford.
Yeah.
He gets antlered to death, which is cool. And then I think this year it was only 2 of the nominees I'd never heard of. I thought that's pretty good because usually it's like 3 or 4. So I'm only down to 2 this year. There's 2 that I actually never ever heard of. And the first time I actually saw the names of the movies were when I looked up the list of the nominees.
All right. Now I just, for anybody who's ever seen The Lost Boys, so now there's a combination of Bradley Whitford and Kiefer Sutherland dying by antlers.
Yeah. It's funny too, you mentioned that because last night, I always pick a movie at night to fall asleep to. And then I wake up in the middle of the night.
Wing.
Yeah, and I wonder why it's on. I flick the TV off. Last night it was on Netflix. I watched Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
And I watched the first half hour before I decided to close my eyes and let the movie play. When they're walking, remember after the jumper scene when he handcuffs the guy who wants to jump and he makes him jump off the top of the building. And Danny Glover is yelling, "You get in here, get into the furniture store, whatever that's going on out of sale."
Oh yeah, the door.
There's the movie marquee across the street is showing this year's hit, The Lost Boys.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So I don't think I've ever noticed that before. But saying this year's
definitely
hit,
never have.
Like seriously, like that small, like that town, all they show is like one hit a year, and this is this year's hit, The Lost Boys.
What was that year?
We're only going to show one good movie a year at this theater. 85, 86, right? Was it Lethal Weapon-ish?
I don't know, man. It's like 87, maybe 87.
Maybe at the latest, yeah.
Yeah, because they were older, and that was after like Stand By Me, which came out in like 86. So it might have been later. I think I was in high school. I think I might have been like a freshman in high school. Okay. So maybe like 80. Wait, that was when I was in high school.
Yeah, 88
right?
would have been.
No,
89 was your freshman year. Yeah.
So we'll look that up.
All right.
Maybe not.
So let's get to the Razzies because we have the full list of nominees for the Razzies.
The reason I suggested that we talk about this to Matt is because, ordinarily I wouldn't care. And we talk about it like TV shows and movies and stuff, and we clearly don't generally watch the movies that are nominated for anything. But as I went through this list, there are not a lot of differences between the categories. It's pretty much the same movie, the same actor or actresses in that said shitty movie.
Right.
So without further ado, here are our 2018 Razzie nominees.
All right, so the worst movie, worst picture, Baywatch, which was terrible, but I watched twice. The Emoji Movie.
I have also watched it twice, but not because it was really well written.
The Emoji Movie, which I never saw.
Yeah, me neither.
50 Shades Darker, never saw.
Never seen all three. I don't give a shit.
The Mummy, I actually went to the theater to see it because I love Tom Cruise.
Watched that and hated it and turned it off after 20 minutes.
Transformers: The Last Night. Now, you haven't seen it, or you
I
did
made
see
it through about half and was like, I can't do this.
Okay, and this will just tell you what I thought of it because I can't remember if I've seen it. I may have watched it, but I don't remember. So that should tell you what I thought of the movie. It went from
me trying and then me being like, no, and then me doing the go to sleep part, and I still couldn't get past it.
All right.
That was brutal.
Worst actress, Katherine Heigl for Unforgettable, which I've never even heard of. Unforgettable.
No, I didn't know that was I thought she stopped working.
Dakota Johnson in 50 Shades Darker. Jennifer Lawrence in a movie called Mother, I never heard of. No. I literally, until looking at the screen now, I've never heard of Unforgettable or Mother.
Right.
Tyler Perry. This is the worst actress category, yes.
The amount of anger I have towards that person. I'll try not to ever do that on this show, but
it's called Boo, a Medea Halloween, and then Emma Watson in The Circle, which is also Tom Hanks. Correct?
That movie is shit.
Never
did
saw
watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. It is
never saw it.
Shit.
I had no desire.
Do you remember that movie with Tim Robbins and Ryan Phillippe? Hey, do you like that I remembered something? Woohoo!
Wow.
That's like the first time. Where they basically were like Tim Robbins kind of played now I forget.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. No, it was
Tim
like
Robbins and Ryan
it was
Phillippe.
like the Microsoft model where Ryan Phillippe was kind of like an up and coming. He was just graduating from school. He was really good at like IT.
What was the name of it?
They bring him in. I don't know. See, now I said that and I can't remember shit. But anyway,
remember.
no, actually it's like a cool movie, but it's like the same concept except Tom Hanks and Trish and I watched about a half an hour.
Okay.
And like had to quit. It was, because I'm like, is Tom Hanks broke? Like, why is he doing this? Tom Hanks plays like the guy running the technology company.
Yeah.
Emma Watson is the one who's highly sought after as a recruit and comes in and finds out that he's doing shady shit. Like, it's just very bad. It's very recycled.
Yeah, I will never see it. And I still have never watched Bridge of Spies.
I have.
Tom Hanks. Okay, I've started it.
It's a good movie.
I've started it 6 times, buddy. But the first half hour just bores me to death. I turn off.
You gotta, dude.
I know I can't.
Because of the subject matter, I pulled through, like I pushed through and got to the end.
It's worth.
The end is fucking intense.
All right, yeah. I'll go back and do it this weekend then. All right, worst actor, Tom Cruise for The Mummy, which I think is bullshit because he was a superstar in that. He deserves an Oscar nominee.
Yeah, sarcasm.
Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, which they should stop making those.
I still won't watch that new one.
I watched
or the one before.
I watched the first one. That's it.
Yeah. I'm on the second one. Anytime that what's her name?
Jamie
Seriously,
Dorman.
I was so proud of myself. That's the 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Of
Okay. For 50 Shades Darker, Zac Efron, which is also BS for Baywatch. He was fantastic in that. Mark Wahlberg, Daddy's Home 2, and Transformers: The Last Night. Ooh, a double dipper.
He gets a double
Nice, love it.
nomination.
Worst supporting actor, Javier Bardem.
Yeah, the guy who actually has an Oscar.
Mother and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, so he
Wow.
was in that Jennifer Lawrence movie, apparently.
Russell Crowe, The Mummy, which, yeah, he was bad. Josh Duhamel, what's his name?
Demel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. He's the handsome guy.
Yeah, he's the fucking super
He's the
handsome.
handsome fella.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson for Daddy's Home 2. Oh, Josh was Transformers.
Yes.
Anthony Hopkins. Something called Collide?
I don't think anyone knows that movie.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Wow, that's terrible. Here, let me scroll it up a little bit so I can see the worst supporting actress. Kim Basinger for 50 Shades Darker. I don't know this actress.
Does she have surprise clown face? She didn't do that to herself,
I don't
did she?
think so. She may.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
Sonia Boutella, she's from The Mummy, so I guess we know who
that's
she is.
The Mummy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a real bab. Although, you know what? I'm a little ticked about it because her wrappings as a mummy were strategically located around her body, which I just thought,
she had like a mummy nipple bikini.
A mummy bikini on. Yeah, like seriously? Like how did that happen?
Let's call it a mipple.
Come on now.
She had a nipple bikini.
Hey, you know what? If it slips, it slips. Come on, she's 2,000 years old.
No, I'd probably watch the movie if some nipples were involved.
Laura Haddock. I think you see Tom Cruise's. Laura Haddock was in Transformers. I don't know who she is. Goldie Hawn in Snatched.
That movie was brutal.
I watched 20 minutes of it, and anybody who sat through it, he deserves a medal
Trish and
as
I
a husband.
got through the whole thing.
Dude, I did not know it was Goldie Hawn when I turned the movie on because she's unrecognizable.
Say it again. Well, a combination between surprised clown face and melted candle.
Just looks it's terrible. And I saw it's funny. I caught about 20 minutes today of Overboard.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty decent movie.
She used to be very pretty.
Smoking
and look
hot,
at her
actually.
daughter,
No,
right?
she's a babe in
yeah,
that.
no, I know. It's just, oh boy.
Do you know there's a remake of that coming out?
Of course there is.
Of Overboard.
We could do a whole show on shitty recycled
it's with,
content.
Anna Faris. This time, so they reverse the roles.
She got clown face too.
Anna Faris is like she cleans yachts. It's her job, and like the millionaire guy whose yacht she's cleaning, he ends up getting amnesia, and she pretends that she makes him think that he's her husband. So they reverse the roles with it. But saw the preview for it, and it looks absolutely just atrocious.
Fell asleep during
like
that.
You seriously have to make a remake of that movie? Like, come on now.
They're remaking everything. There's no original content, man.
And then Susan Sarandon, A Bad Mom's Christmas, which I won't see. Worst screen combo: any combination of two characters, two sex toys, or two sexual positions. 50 Shades Darker.
Apparently, they need to stop making these.
Any combination of two humans, two robots, or two explosions. Transformers. Any two obnoxious emojis. The Emoji Movie. Johnny Depp and his worn-out routine, Pirates of the Caribbean. Tyler Perry and either the ratty old dress or worn-out wig for Medea, Halloween Medea thingy. Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel, Baywatch is nominated. A Medea Halloween, that's Boo 2. 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers: The Last Night.
That's why I wanted us to do this. The old trend of, look at these movies, man. It's all the same damn movie.
Worst director, I don't know who they are, except Michael Bay for Transformers.
I was going to say, just read
50
the movie.
Shades Darker, The Mummy, and The Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Worst screenplay, Baywatch, The Emoji Movie, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers.
This has to
apparently
be...
Transformers
is
is just
such
terrible.
garbage. It's garbage. I got through some of it, but don't seriously. I don't look at the actually I glance at the Razzies every year, but I'm guessing that if we went through the last several years, this has to be the like the first time that every category contains like 3 out of the 5
are all the same.
Yep.
Yep, Baywatch was pretty bad, but I mean, you got
like girls running around. You're not watching it because I'm like, and we like The Rock, and you like.
I love The Rock, and I love Zac Efron,
I know we talked about this last week.
Our babe from Quantico.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I still don't know what her name is, but she's
brown boobs.
Yeah, well, that's not. I don't think that's her name though. I don't think that's the
brown boobs McGee.
it might be. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Maybe it's a hyphenate. Brown boobs, McGee,
Johnson,
Jefferson.
I don't know.
Whatever.
But whatever. So that's the Razzies for you. And what's unfortunate, though, is that I've seen more Razzie nominees than I have Oscar nominees.
I feel like that's kind of what normal people do.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a terrible moviegoer.
Think of it. I'm curious to see what the box office numbers for those shitty movies are. Other than like the Mother one and Medea, like I feel like Transformers and Baywatch made a lot of money.
Oh, I think Baywatch made a lot of money, and The Rock's new one, the Jumanji remake,
Trish said it was great.
Is a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's huge money.
Did you like it? Was it good?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I thought you. Oh,
no. I will though. I'll wait till that one comes out. I'm not gonna go to the theater.
Well, exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your opinion. I'll see it when it's on.
Because I do think The Rock and Kevin Hart are actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
together.
you got Jack Black too.
Yeah, Jack Black's in there.
No,
so
that can't be unfunny.
Right, but it's made a ton of movies. So
Money?
a ton of money.
Both.
All right, so we're gonna do a special instead of a Bears report this week because we're not doing it. We're gonna do something a little different, and it was a conversation that we started to have a little bit last week. So why don't you lead this for us here? Lead this segment and with your players, and we'll
now.
discuss.
How would you prefer the end game
In
to go
English.
with this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't. Yeah,
because we did it in Spanish over text. That was hard.
I know. I hit the wrong button.
I had to do a lot of English to Spanish on Google.
It was like on the Google machine.
I'm texting you in Spanish.
Do you think it would make more sense? No, either way, like we're saying something and I don't want it to like sway the other person. Should we do like alternation like we do?
No. Just go. It's
I go through my list.
It's not going to sway. Yeah, we'll just go one category at a time. So we're talking about NFL and best of all time because it was a conversation that started with Tom Brady.
Well, my text to you during the playoff game was, do you think that Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time? That's what started this.
And I said I do not believe that he's the best quarterback. I've seen better quarterbacks play, but I also finished my text by saying if I had one game to win and needed a quarterback, he'd probably be the guy that I would start, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do it. Yeah, we do end with unfortunately.
Right.
But so let's
because it's hard to argue his success. But I have seen guys play the position better than Tom Brady.
So let's put some context around what we're about to do. And we're going to do the best Q. So we've got all time in here, but let's be a little bit more realistic. And we're going to do best QB, best offensive player, best defensive player, and best overall player of our, Matt and my, lifetime. There are so many good people who started the league out and played early on.
Right.
I feel it's a different league. I feel you and I, other than watching videos or reading about it, have had no exposure to it. And to be quite honest, other than, I'll fire one out, other than Jim Brown, I don't know that any of those players creep up into at the very least, my thoughts of this.
No, and so I was born in 73. I started watching football in 83 when I was 10.
75 for me. And I started watching. My dad took me to my first Bears game in 80.
The league is different today than it was 5 years ago. It's different today it's much different today than it was 10 years ago. And it certainly is a very different league than when I was 10 years old, 35 years ago when I started watching football.
Yep.
So I'm in my time frame. I want to keep it on people that I've watched their careers because that's just for me the easiest way to judge. Of course, I've seen highlights of guys going back into the 70s and 60s and 50s,
I think you and I actually. So Matt and I did not really discuss we kind of had 5 players that we named that fall into these categories. We did not say number one. We didn't do that.
So let's just get into it. So
a little bit more criteria, though. I think a little bit more criteria is pure at the position, because to me, being the best quarterback or being the best offensive player does not mean Super Bowls.
No, it can't.
The end game is to win championships. But to me, best pure player at the positions or in the category that we're talking about, and someone who actually elevates the entire team.
It doesn't have to equate to Super Bowls because there are greats in every sport that have never won one.
Because there's 32 teams. Like what, I obviously the Patriots, but you know what? I'm not going to equate their success purely to Tom Brady.
Right.
Period.
I mean,
never will.
I look at
Put
some guys.
that guy in the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
He's not doing shit.
Like guys that I grew up watching in the NBA, some of the best NBA players of all time never won a championship.
Because they played on dog shit teams.
Well, I mean, it's just
or they were just the best.
Or they happen to go, against the Jordan Bulls in the 90s.
Right.
When you look at a guy like Charles Barkley or Pat Ewing, I mean, two of the best players that you'll ever see.
Yep.
And who knows if the Rockets win those back-to-back championships if Jordan doesn't retire and start playing baseball, or get suspended or whatever the story was.
I think they would have won all the way through.
They might have won 8 in a row. Yeah, absolutely. Instead of taking that break for 2 years, and maybe Olajuwon never wins one. It doesn't mean he's not one of the greatest big men of all time. He absolutely is.
Right. Yes.
So it doesn't mean that they've won Super Bowls because that doesn't always equate into a player's talent or ability. So best QB of all time.
Dan Marino.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, there's a couple. I'm just gonna mention a couple guys, and then I'll say who for me.
Okay. I could have done that.
Yeah, but because there was some thought here to it, and as far as who I think is the best quarterback, John Elway's in the picture for me.
He's my 2.
Aaron Rodgers is in the picture for me.
Not all time.
Yeah, for me,
yet.
absolutely.
Yet? Okay.
Yeah,
right,
sure,
that's
absolutely.
Fine. Sorry.
I look at his.
Sorry.
No, look at his ability. Yeah. Brett Favre for me is also in that picture. But best quarterback I've ever seen play the game is Dan Marino. Hands down, as a quarterback, Dan Marino is the best I've ever seen.
Yep.
I would have paid any amount of money to have Dan Marino wear a jersey of a team I support.
Yep.
Period. All right, best offensive player of all time.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah. I'm torn, but he's going to get another category. So yeah, Jerry Rice, best offensive player.
Because I think now I know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll leave it at Jerry Rice.
Sample size, consistency, elevating everyone around him. Jerry Rice was, dude, the guy played old as hell for the Raiders and still went to a Pro Bowl. Statistically, yeah.
Also, in the picture for me as well is Barry Sanders.
Agreed.
Yeah, that guy.
No.
Man, I would have loved to see Barry Sanders play for a team that I support.
Right.
And I hated him because he played with the Lions.
For a team that, if he was allowed to walk out of his contract, he probably would have taken over the rushing title and played for someone who was like good.
Right.
He retired at the top of his game because he was playing for a team that wasn't going to win anything.
You can't win with Scott Mitchell, right? Wasn't it?
Or anything. And then he got a new coach, and but
Fred Flintstone?
he falls under the best offensive player, or excuse me, the best overall player, I think, but he's not mine.
All right, best defensive player of all time.
Lawrence Taylor.
Agreed. Lawrence Taylor. That guy, he changed the way the game was played in defense.
But yeah, and I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's stuff, and again, we're talking about, actually, even if we went back, what are we going to go back to the beginning of time? I mean, like, you can look at, like, Butkus and stuff, but, and he was amazing, and, like, Jack Lambert, and, like, all those guys, Ronnie Lott, right, and I feel like he should be high up there, right?
For sure.
But LT, man, whew, you watch some highlights of that guy. Like, you don't see anything like that. They line him up anywhere, and anywhere they put him, he smoked people. You had game plans designed around one guy.
Yeah, and I wonder what would have happened with his career had he been a different person off the field.
If he didn't like the cocaine as much.
Yeah, and apparently other stuff as well. Yeah. But if he dedicated his entire life to a guy like Jerry Rice,
right,
who not only had the exceptional talent but dedicated his life to playing his craft. If Lawrence Taylor had that in him, what would he have been?
Can you imagine exactly? Yeah,
what would he have been?
Where his only focus is football.
Right.
I mean, like if that guy is half-assing it, he would have been murdering people, and not like Ray Lewis, not
actually killing
on
people.
The field.
Right.
Yeah. Who's a Hall of Fame nominee?
Best overall player of all time, and I think this is obviously
Walter
we haven't
Payton.
mentioned him. Right? Yeah.
Period.
Walter Payton.
On that list, this is really tough for me. I don't know. Like overall, to me meant like a utility player who could do a lot of different things. Walter was obviously a great running back, obviously a great teammate. Obviously elevated his team because in the 70s the poor bastard was drafted and they were awful, and he was like the only highlight for 10 years or 9 years until 84 when they got decent. The guy I don't know. I mean, he could punt. He was a good receiver. He was a Pro Bowl, and he was, what was he, the Rookie of the Year as a returner.
He could throw. He could block.
The guy could throw.
I mean, right.
Like, I can't think of anyone who was better than him.
He picked up pass rush. I mean, he could do anything.
You know what? I was thinking about this earlier, and it's like, yeah, does that make me a homer a bit? No, because how many Peyton jerseys and Peyton fans are there? Like, professionals, guys who are the top of their game, who are Jim Brown. I've never seen anyone play like that. Who is in my top 5 of best players of all time.
Sure.
But I mean, like, we're talking about in our lifetime, and Brown clearly played before we were even like developing sperm.
Yeah, but but Peyton overall there's not one thing that he could not do on the football field. Right.
Agreed.
All right. Okay, perfect. So that's that best QB. So we're gonna go Marino, Rice, LT, Walter Payton.
Yeah.
And we're in complete agreement on all those.
I know.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
So what I appreciated the most about it is, I mean, I respect your football opinion, but fine. We'll open this up to Twitter after we release this episode. Facebook, Twitter, email, whatever you want to do. Let us know who you think is number 1 in these categories. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Give me a defensive argument for Brady. Like, do what you got to do. I mean, we're doing this because that's our opinion, and we're curious what yours is.
Yeah, and I wonder what Tom Brady is outside that system, outside of Bill Belichick.
Right. And what I
not to take away anything from what the guy's accomplished or done. It's just
great.
I think
there
are guys that have played great during Brady's time that are better quarterbacks than Tom Brady.
He is a great player.
Right.
He is a Hall of Fame player, and I am not saying that after 8 Super Bowls that he is systematic, but to start the way he started, as Drew Bledsoe goes down, he steps in, he plays well. He's played within a system of that Patriots bubble.
Yeah.
That it doesn't exist at other franchises. It just doesn't. Quarterbacks get drafted now based on, bad records, and they go to turd teams.
Right.
I'm telling you, you put him. I use Cleveland as an example all the time because they're the only franchise that's more embarrassing than we are. So throw him in Cleveland. What is he going to do there?
Well, yeah, I will say this because of just his talent and his work ethic. Cleveland wins more games, obviously, with Tom Brady,
right.
But they're not winning divisions. They're not going to the playoffs.
No. You got the Steelers
even if you have Tom Brady
and
right.
Baltimore. No, right. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Do they win? Do they have a 6-win season probably sometime? Sure.
Yeah.
Because Tom Brady can make that difference, right?
Yeah.
But they're not winning divisions with Tom Brady.
No,
it's not happening.
No.
You take some of the crap teams that we've seen here in town. You put Tom Brady. Sure, you're going to win a couple more games, but you're not winning divisions.
And to be fair, so the 4 players we mentioned, Marino was drafted into he had a good supporting cast. Yeah, obviously
Clayton and Duper.
He had one of the
best wide receivers.
I think
in the game
outside of Belichick, and oh God, whenever I see that stupid
Don Shula,
perfect
absolutely.
season stuff, it just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But like, I think he and Belichick are like there for like best coaches ever.
Yeah.
And Marino had a good cast around him, but that dude, man, statue.
No,
it's not running. He was not doing shit.
He
was just that like
right. The guy couldn't move.
Man.
But if you expand like the modern era of football, you go back. You're talking about 3 of the best we've watched in Walsh and Shula and in Bill Belichick. You can't argue that.
Right.
You can't argue it. Unless you want to put Dick Duran up there or Mark Trestman, I'll let you make those arguments. But no. All right. I'm sorry.
No, I was just.
That's a sad emoji face.
No, I was just trying. Maybe I watched the movie. No, I was trying to think of the worst coach ever as you were doing that, and that was it was like thinking sad face.
Right. It was thinking sad emoji.
Yeah, I got nothing. But no, but quarterback I think is, I guess, more debatable.
Probably because I think there are people that will certainly argue Brady and somewhat would argue
or anyone.
John
Brady,
Elway
they'll have. I think Elway. That's fine. Defense, I would be hard pressed to find anyone who is able to come up with anyone other than Lawrence Taylor.
Better than Lawrence Taylor.
I feel like that's you need to give me some really compelling
offense. Only you'd be hard pressed to find someone better than Jerry Rice
on any team. Right. That's the dude you put on any team, and he's just gonna catch it. And yeah,
the only thing, unless you want to say Walter Payton, is both categories fine. I'll give you that. But
Offensive
you're not going to find anyone better than Jerry Rice.
Well, I mean, the guy played 20 years, man, and he was good every one of them.
Right.
Every one of them, from rookie till retirement, 20 seasons.
All right, and again, that all started from the Tom Brady, is he the best quarterback
For
ever?
me sending Matt a text after some vino.
Not the best quarterback ever, but certainly a guy that he had one game to win. He might, he'd probably be the guy that I would start. Which,
yeah, I would take him, Breeze.
As long as he's in the same system with Belichick and everything, all that crap. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we move on to...
everyone knows where we stand with that. And I think we're not alone on the planet.
On to moderately paced fire questions.
We're a little under normal. We're not at an hour yet. So
here's the first question for you, because you're a child of the 80s. Mario Brothers or Zelda? I definitely
Mario.
have 100%.
Mario.
I played Zelda, but it was never a thing for me like Zelda.
Yeah, I got really
Zelda
frustrated with that.
Yeah,
I dominated
Mario was a thing, though.
Yeah, Zelda was annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it, but it was annoying.
Yep.
All right. Any upcoming travel plans?
Yeah, actually, I have a work trip. I have a week-long work trip in March to going to Orlando.
Oh, I was going to say, please don't be Vegas. I'll never see you again.
Oh. There's a...
I love Orlando.
There's a supplements show.
Don't go.
In Vegas. I'm trying to talk Harry.
Don't go. It's going to be Ferrari discusses everything. Don't go.
I'm trying to get him to send us to Vegas for a few days.
Oh, God.
I'm like, come on, let's go do a trade show in Vegas. It's supplements and nutrition stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Even he's not that naive.
No, he's not. He's like, I don't think I want to go to Vegas. So we're going to Orlando. Fun. I am definitely doing something this summer with the boys. Going somewhere. I'm doing something. I have to.
Cool. And I mean, it could be you're taking them to Michigan City Dunes. Like
it might be a lake house or something. Yeah,
yeah.
I might not get on a plane somewhere.
I think
but
we'll all be going to as my father and mother and brothers refer to it, the shit shack.
Oh yeah.
So we'll all be going there. We'll all be going to.
Will that be open? Will that be ready? Is
April? They're shooting for an April
April
opening date, so we're going to be able to do summer at my parents' shit shack up in I believe it's Genoa City.
All right, so they'll be ready for guests this summer. Fine.
Yes. Not many guests, so we're going to be camping, but
I'll sleep in the car.
For me, I'm hoping. I don't have anything planned immediately, but Trish and I are talking about going. So we still haven't taken a honeymoon. Going somewhere like Nashville, maybe Savannah, Georgia, somewhere just cool. Or if we can figure it out logistically, going to visit Mallory, like in the Caribbean. Somewhere.
Have you been to Nashville before?
Yeah,
she hasn't. Yeah. I would suggest you go there.
Oh, I love it.
If you
and my friend Gene is from there, so we're kind of talking about doing that.
I would definitely suggest that.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a question for you, and this is one I was thinking about on the drive over. I think I already would know what your answer would be. But let's pretend, hypothetical situation, you're an author of a book and you're writing a book about a sports team. You can cover the season of any sports team in the history of all sports. What would you do?
You know what would be fun for me? Obviously, like other than the Cubs winning the World Series for you, the Bears winning the Super Bowl for us, right? As I can think in my lifetime is like, holy shit, memorable. Especially the Cubs are a nationally followed team.
Yeah.
They one of the few teams that you can watch anywhere, like no matter where you live. And the whole been 100 years thing is amazing. I obviously am not equipped to write about that. Bears Super Bowl, I could write about how I felt as a 10-year-old as it was happening and like how I reflect back on that. But for me, it would be super cool. I wanted to go to University of Florida in 2006 purely because of how good that university was sports-wise and how they beat Ohio State in the national championship football game and in the national championship basketball game in the same year.
Oh,
I would love to dig in deep and talk to like Noah and all those guys, and that would be fun. I think that'd be super fun to dig in, and that was a more recent one, but I loved every second of that. I watched all those games. I loved it.
That's cool. That's good. No, that's a good answer. I thought the Bears would be your thing, but then Florida popped in my mind because I know your love for the Gators and the football program. So That's cool. That's a good answer. For me, only because of the memories I have as a kid of watching, and there's been a lot of stuff made about it in a great movie called Miracle. But the 1980 Olympic team, the hockey team, just to be around all of that, start to finish, would have been really, really cool to witness.
For some reason, I think it's just because of like the global landscape right now. I've watched Miracle like twice. I went and I watched the documentary. Like Trish was sitting next to me while I was watching it, watching all the interviews with the guys.
Yeah,
like, that's amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
And I vaguely remember watching it. 5 years old, and like my parents and friends who were over drinking and stuff, like yelling, and it was awesome. But I wouldn't have had any idea about the the U.S. versus Russia, the communism thing, the Cold War, like any of that shit.
Yeah.
But that was pretty damn cool, man.
It was, and I actually
be there.
I remember watching that with my dad and brothers. It was a Friday night. I remember because I'd go to his house on the weekends. On Fridays, I would be there, and I remember watching that. I remember watching that game, and I'll never forget it. And that's one of the few. It's weird because I have two memories of watching sports with my dad. One is the 80 Olympic game against the Russians, and the other one is the Monday night Dolphins loss for the Bears championship season. Oh, I'm sorry. And there's three. Two of them are terrible. That is the loss of the Dolphins, and then the Cubs complete demise in '84, being up 2 games to none on the Padres. I remember watching games 3, 4, and 5.
I watched all those.
Yeah,
that was when I was like I didn't really. Yeah, I didn't really. I wasn't cutting loose any sports at that point.
In '84.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got a couple here. What do you think is the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
Me?
Yeah. Well, No, I'm asking Trish.
Jeez. Best one I've ever had. Well, it's only been a few. Probably the year that I did a pretty good Elvis. I had the whole jumpsuit, everything.
That was at the lodge, wasn't it?
Let my hair grow. No, I was in the city.
Oh, okay.
And I let my hair grow out longer. Like I planned for it and got an authentic jumpsuit.
Right, instead of a wig, you went.
Thought I did pretty good with it. So that's probably my best one.
I don't know if I've shared this. I did share some Halloween costumes from our handle like way early on.
Yeah.
Like the Jeopardy thing.
Oh,
like,
Jeopardy
that might be anyone's best costume ever. Like we did a group celebrity Jeopardy costume. We built cardboard podiums with working clickers.
Yeah,
dude, that was a good one. I'll never top that.
No, that was a great one. That was a spectacular costume. All right, here's a question for you. You're at a restaurant and you get your food is served to you, and you find hair in your food. Okay, how do you handle that situation? Like, what's your tone, your demeanor with the server in that situation?
I usually pull the hair out and keep eating.
Do you really?
Yeah. If it's like some like cluster of hair, like then I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Awesome.
And I've never had like a long. It's been like a little thing like where
like a pube.
Like no, it's never been a pube. Then I would probably freak out. That like if it was like a short and curly, I would freak out.
That's great.
I still wouldn't like yell at anybody. I would pull the plate aside and be like, "Hey, check this out."
Right.
My goal in life isn't to humiliate people, and it's not their
fault. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've experienced it.
I've
You've seen people in restaurants.
Like
you've seen people
like hair and
you've seen people like just go crazy.
Yeah.
Like the server like made it their
but not
purpose
even
in life
for hair
to ruin
reasons,
them. Right.
Like for
That's great.
Whatever.
So a small straight hair, you're pulling it out and you're still chomping.
Yeah, I usually just flick
That's
it off.
great.
It's not like I'm not.
That's a great
I'm not,
answer,
it's not
man.
like deep into the food. It's usually like on the side of the bowl or something.
That's
I don't give
great.
a fuck, man. Like, hair, dude. There's hair on this desk. Like I don't care.
That's funny. I certainly would never do it in a way to humiliate someone or make them feel bad.
No.
Just correct it and let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. That's great. I did not expect that. That's funny.
I don't think I've ever berated anyone other than someone where we like,
deserved it.
No, where we it took like an hour to get a beer or something. Where I'm like, dude, come on, man. If you could spend a day in someone else's shoes, who would they be and why?
That's a good question.
I wrote it down and then I didn't think of an answer, so I got to work on this while you're.
Well, think about it right now. You know what? This is a serious answer. I mean, I as far as I mean this is a legit answer, given what's going on, and I probably a and not a specific person, but I would say a minority of some type. Just to see what life is not like, what it's not like to be a white middle-aged man.
Yeah. Well, I am a white middle-aged man.
You are.
Are we middle-aged?
Well, yeah, because we're in our
but
40s.
but life expectancy is like further on now, right? We're close.
Well, it can't be. Well,
it's fine.
It's not 90.
My whole body's
yeah.
My whole body's falling apart. It's fine. We're middle-aged.
For sure, middle-aged. God, it's terrible.
Well, I think it would give me more perspective if I did something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, like I've been trying to think of alternative answers, but the one that keeps popping to mind is being my brother Matt right now, who is like experiencing like having a baby.
Oh, yeah.
And like, a new job. Like his life is a lot of changes, but a lot of good changes.
Sure.
And I don't know. I think it would be enjoyable to kind of see what that's like.
All right. When is the last time you stayed up past 4 a.m.?
Name the week. There are some times that I don't.
Okay, let's
sleep.
let's change that a bit then. When's the last time you stayed up past 4 a.m. for festivity purposes?
Like partying?
Sure. And not because you're an old man who doesn't sleep.
It's been a while, man. Well, I could say the last person who, you always either have to do it or you're forced to do it is with my cousin Jeremy, he's basically like a...
He holds your clock hostage.
He's basically like a producer of the show. Yeah. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. And if it was that, I wasn't like out doing anything.
Yeah.
We came back here and we were eating food and like kind of staying up and, something like that. But it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
4 a.m. It's been a long
over
time.
At a friend's house, hanging out in the garage and boozing and darts and just hanging out
all the time.
Yeah.
Like where you just sit and
And before you know it, it was
track
like
of time.
It was like 6 a.m.
Yeah,
You're like,
but not like the whole
crap.
the first bars close at 2 and you're like, I'm not done,
Yeah.
and then you have to go to the 4 where nothing good ever happens.
Well, nothing good happens after that. It's a 2 a.m. bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So go and get a burrito.
It's not even that good things don't happen. Bad things happen. This is the bad things happen.
Fighting, blackout, you lose all your shit. Yeah. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Oh boy, I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pairs of shoes.
Mine have got to be, I don't know, in the 30s, and I got rid of a bunch before we moved.
Yep, 9 pairs.
Yeah, like I love shoes. Obsessed with shoes.
Okay.
But not like sneakerhead shit. Like I love different kinds of shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I have 2
And
pairs
I
of
wear
Nikes.
them all, man. I go through a rotation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Because you got shoes for suits. And
Oh yeah. If my wife were in here, she could do a lot of material on
the shoes you have.
I have. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I have a list of questions. I'm just scrolling through the ones that I didn't highlight any ones here.
No, that's fine.
Oh, here's one for you because this is like my Zelda and Mario Brother one. Do you like candy first of all or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are like the.
Okay, wait, hang on. Before you say it, these are 2 of my favorite candies of my lifetime.
Of your life.
Yeah, pick one here. Sour Patch Kids or Swedish Fish?
Fish.
Fish?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you not like sour stuff?
No, I like it, but if you're giving me an option,
the choice. Okay.
Yeah. I've eaten bags of Swedish Fish.
I still do.
No,
me and the boys will sit down and for sure.
I'd be eating them during breaks. I'd be eating them while we're on the air. I love Swedish Fish.
I prefer gummy candies over any kind of I'll take gummy candies over chocolate any day.
No, I can't say that.
Any day.
I can't say
that.
that.
I will always have
Swedish Fish.
I always have gummy bears at the house. Me and the boys will kill a package of gummy bears in 30 seconds.
All right.
Love them. Sour gummy bears are the absolute best.
Okay.
But Swedish Fish though, that goes back to my childhood getting when they were a cent, 1 penny, and I would get them at the corner store on my way to school every morning. We'd stop in.
Every once in a while, I get those on road trips.
You'd have a dime and
get some beef jerky, get some Swedish Fish.
Fine.
Yeah.
All good.
Well, I know you. Yeah, I know you like the jerky.
Yeah, beef jerky. No, Slim Jims and coffee.
Yeah.
That's what a man.
Oh yeah.
That's what a man
shit your
snacks
pants
on.
And then have some dessert.
And then throw it out your tea tops.
Yes.
Your garbage.
All right, so but that was the only sugar. That was the candy comparison, right?
Yep,
Okay.
those two.
I didn't know where you're going because
Those
we
two.
have way early on have talked about candies.
Yep.
Last question, nice and simple. How many? All right, when you're not on a sleeper sofa, how many pillows do you sleep with?
3. I always have 3 because I sleep on 2 and I hold 1.
I mean, in the bed, dude. I was gonna say, what do you like launch the 4th? Like you have 4, right?
Well, yeah, there's 4 on there, but the 4th one I don't need it.
Oh, I use all 4.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I have 2 that I sleep on, and then I have 1 that I hold.
Because of the back thing.
Yeah.
Even after the surgery, because of the back thing, like no matter what position I sleep in, like it'll wake me up. Like I'll feel like the pressure on it, so I have to roll over. So I do like the 1 pillow under my head, 1 pillow like holding the stupid thing, but then when I roll over, I have the 2 over there.
And I will say this: any single man listening that has decorative pillows anywhere in their house, throw them out now.
Mine haven't been. We do have them. Mine have not been on my bed since we lived here.
Doesn't matter though because you're married.
Well, right.
If you're a single man, you should not have decorative pillows.
No, they came with like the comforter set. There's 2 little guys, but they've been on the floor for a very long time.
Don't do it. All right, so that's moderately paced fire questions. That wraps up our first segment. This is
right in an hour.
Episode 22. It's called Marples. It's a Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and historic downtown Libertyville. Welcome back into segment 2. It's episode 22. It's called Marples. It's Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub. This Saturday, they've got a party band called Feel Good. It's a free show Saturday night. Sad news, though, for you. Some bad news. Santa's Magic is all gone. If you missed it, then you missed it once again. Remember, it taps the day after Thanksgiving, 2018. So you've got some time to make plans to get out and try some Santa's Magic. Although, good news, though, if you're a fan of their Kolsch beer, it is back on tap. They've been tweeting a lot about that. Yep, they have it back on tap and available for you. Remember, live. Yeah, it is. Everything's good. Everything's good that they do. They had one dude. They had a dark. One of their dark brews, and it was like barrel aged, and it was they called it Orange is the New Chocolate, and it was like a dark chocolate beer with orange in it, dude. It was, man, but yeah, I know. I had to try it, but it was a 10%er.
Name makes you want to punch a baby,
fine.
But
it was delicious. They do. Oh, that's how brews are, though. They got
Orange is the New Chocolate.
Yeah, it was really good.
God, that sums up.
It's a playoff of a TV show called Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you've heard it on Netflix. It's a new. Anywho.
Yeah, the name of that beer is borderline racist.
So there you go with that.
I mean, just kidding.
Live music every weekend. Of course, great food, great beer. Santa's Magic is gone. Kolsch is on tap. Get out there and try it out. They are at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Follow them on Twitter at Mickey Fins.
Kolsch is like German style, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
You can, of course, follow along with us on social media at AFDE Show, email at afdeshow@gmail.com, and facebook.com/AFDE Show. We start off segment 2 of every episode. Remember, this is number 22. It's called Marples with That's So Wisconsin. It's brought to you by our good friends Will's Northwoods Inn at 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area, which, by the way, I need to talk to you about that. Want to go to the Packer-Palooza. I'll explain to you more
I know.
off the air.
I know.
Want to go to that.
Kevin and I have been texting about such things. He definitely wants to set up that. I think that, well, unless Fins wants us to do it, they're our presenting sponsor.
Yeah.
He wants that to be our first remote.
Oh.
He really wants us to go.
Yeah, that's fine. We can certainly do that. Yeah. No, Brian and all the good peeps at Fins, whatever, it's all good. Yeah, I want to do that. I would love to be there for that. Now we'll talk more about that off the air, as I said, but off of the recording device, I should say.
Also, with that being said, just a little bit of a sidebar, we're relatively sure, if everything goes well, next week's episode is going to be our first interview. Like not like in studio with Mr. Brendan McCaffrey.
Right.
Which, by the way, has been our best performing episode. So it's very nice that BMAC boosted some stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to change the format of the episode entirely and just do a full form interview with a guest. And when we do have guests on, we will do it that way. We'll hopefully spend at least an hour, if not more, with each individual guest.
Whatever they have time for. Whatever they're generous enough to give us.
Right. And hopefully next week will be the first one that we do that for.
I think you're going to like it.
We'll have more
I think you're going to like it. If we get what we want.
All right. So That's So Wisconsin, brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area.
Yeah. So, as I was telling Matt before this segment, we do a lot of actual research and searching to find articles to, supplement the segments that we do every week. And I don't know, man, Wisconsin generally provides some, pretty entertaining stuff. But like we've said many times, it doesn't have to be funny. It could be charitable. It could be great. And this week, through all my searching, I spent a good amount of time. A lot of his stuff was either weather related, which our post kind of is, but this one's entertaining. Weather related, Packers related, which is fine, but it's not anything of note. Like they're making coaching changes, whatever. And politically, which it's stupid. Like it wasn't even something like that. It's not up to the standards of our That's So Wisconsin. So Phil, one of the friends of the show, friends of mine, along with my cousin Jeremy, have become satellite producers, and he sent me this link, which sent us to last week. The the Lafayette
Grant.
Okay,
so
it's I would have never thought that this existed. I'm not shocked that it does, but it's basically the Facebook version of a police scanner specific to the Lafayette area. Lafayette Grant County area. And I just was scrolling through, and it's a police scanner, so it's not like there's a lot of burning fire.
Yeah, there's stuff we wouldn't read. But last week we found one a buggy that overturned.
I mean,
and you said there was a follow-up to that where there was a horse running around the neighborhood confused.
For those of you who are concerned or interested about the Amish buggy that flipped over last week, apparently the horse disconnected from said buggy and was running around not knowing what was going on. He needed to be corralled. So as a continuation of that, this week there is actually video footage, photo footage, not video footage that we could find, photo footage of a car driving down 151, which I actually do know from living up there, but this is in Belmont, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I personally have never seen this and didn't really know it existed.
I didn't know it existed until I saw the story.
It's like reminiscent of the
Wienermobile.
Wienermobile,
yep,
right?
Absolutely.
So Planters has a peanut mobile.
The Planters Peanut Mobile.
Right. And it was driving down
Highway 151
in Belmont,
Looks
Wisconsin.
Like there was some snow.
There was a little bit of rough road conditions.
Peanut
and it
didn't have much traction.
And it biffed, and it went across 2 lanes. And there's photos of the Peanut Mobile just stopping traffic.
But the end result was how many hours of stop traffic? 2 hours.
2 hours
of stop traffic. So imagine you're driving, you're getting home, or you're driving for work, and you're sitting in your car for 2 hours.
Yeah, this was at 4 p.m., according to the Lafayette, whatever it is.
You're stuck in your car for 2 hours because a giant peanut mobile slid off the road due to the weather conditions and stopped your traffic for 2 hours. A giant peanut.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of, how Illinois has a lot of, the guys who work like the roads,
the Minutemen.
Yeah, but when stuff happens, they go on the shoulder, they get to you, they
they're called
they're
the Illinois Highway Minutemen. Yes.
Okay, so
because they get there in a minute.
I lived in Wisconsin. There's a stretch of road that's called the Beltline that goes through.
It's a lovely drive, the Beltline.
Yeah, it's not
very nice.
It goes through Madison, but there are every single time I was on it, like there was some kind of an accident. Like it was always a delay, and no one ever helping. Like it was always like just the cars hit and off to the side, and maybe one cop, but no one's like cleaning it up, moving it up, and it just caused that kind of delay. So here we go. That's So Wisconsin. One of the only places the only place in my entire life that I've at least seen photo evidence of the Planters Peanut Mobile blocking a highway area for 2+ hours.
Yeah, so we get that, and thank you to the Lafayette Grant County, Wisconsin Scanner Facebook page. Also, though, more importantly, big thanks to Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine. That's where you find them. And, of course, check them out online because it's not just a place for Packers fans or Badgers fans. It's a great place if you like great food, great atmosphere, great entertainment as well.
Man. I mean, like, at the very least, I know there are a lot of people who like trivia. They do that stuff. They have specials every day. It's a great place. I'm so proud that they're one of our sponsors. But, yeah, like, it's a fun place. You and I, Matt and I need to – we've never been there together. We will. That will be a thing. Before the remote, we need to go there and talk about the remote.
I'm looking forward to being there and hanging out and looking forward to Packer-Palooza, believe it or not. But
can you talk about that right now?
I've seen this headline. I've seen the headline here.
Right, I know. But can you talk about Packer-Palooza right now since we're in the That's Go Wisconsin segment? Or no?
What about it?
You said you wanted to go to it.
Yeah. No, I want to talk about it off the recording device.
We're in here. We got a tape recorder in here. I mean, it's all been jokes about the sound equipment. It's literally like a Fisher-Price tape recorder.
This headline you have here from, and this is news that you should know, folks. And Jason brings it to you every week. Of course, from the Mirror. I don't believe this. I don't want to believe this.
All right, so
I don't want to believe it.
As I was telling Matt before, and last week, if you've listened to that,
can't do it.
My glasses are gone.
Can't do it.
My glasses are gone.
You can read that headline. That's big writing.
No, I'm gonna read the headline.
Yes.
No, I didn't say you could.
It's all we're reading.
No, I've increased the size of the screen by. I went from like 16 font to 30.
Yeah, that first one.
No, I can read this. I'm just saying I can't read anything, guys. So I'm sorry, my glasses are gone, and that's really it. Can you turn the screen towards me, please?
Oh, good Lord. Okay, the sub-headline is even worse.
You're definitely going to have to read the sub-headline.
Fine.
The main headline is Vagina Whitening Now a Thing, and it promises to tighten, relax, and clean your intimate area.
Oh, man, it's just unbelievable. And then the sub-headline, penis whitening became surprisingly popular last year, and now women are getting involved too.
Remember we did a segment on the guys who were getting their balls lifted?
Alrighty. That's enough. Seriously? I mean, what in the world?
Do you don't want the details?
Yeah, I don't need details.
Fine.
There's enough image there.
We're gonna move on.
Terrible. Dude, that is unbelievable. I'd never heard of penis whitening either. Like, what are you doing? What's the teeth whitening I get? Sure.
Hey, in the grand scheme of things, I mean,
I get it.
Do you really want it whiter? I've heard better things about other penises.
Wow.
All right.
That's unbelievable.
No,
of course, from the Mirror,
but
too.
This one?
At your people at the Mirror.
No, it's just Sky News.
No, I'm saying the first one.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, I actually have about 15 websites that I go to every week.
What in God's name is this now? Seriously, what?
Yes, I swear to God. All right, the title of this article is Camels Banned from Beauty Contest After Being Injected with Botox.
Wow.
Hey, read the subheadline.
All right, competitors are judged on the size of their lips, cheeks, heads, and knees. All right, we'll read this. I've got to know more about this. This is ridiculous. Yeah. All right, a camel beauty contest in Saudi Arabia has been rocked by scandal after 12 ships of the desert were disqualified because their owners had used Botox on them. Prize money for the Miss Camel contest runs into the millions of pounds, making the temptation to cheat.
Miss Camel contest
makes the temptation to cheat irresistible for some. The competition is part of a month-long festival celebrating the camel held in, is it Ruma?
Ruma, yeah.
Some 106 kilometers east of some other city.
It's basically just...
It aims to reflect aspects of Saudi heritage and include a petting zoo featuring the world's tallest and shortest camels, a museum with life-size sand sculptures of camels, and tents for tasting camel's milk.
Botox. I know, which is, oh, God. Like, I read the tail end of that article and was like, oh, if it couldn't have got more weird, their milk is a part of the competition.
Tasting like a
camel milk.
Can I get a flight of camel milk?
I'm like, I don't know, man. This milk is solid, but I'm pretty sure that camel had Botox injections.
If the flight of camel milk is as cheap as that brew pub by your place in Middleton, I'm fine with that. When I I asked the woman 12 times to pay for the entire thing. I thought she was charging me for one glass.
Oh,
no. I'm going to pay for the whole thing. Yeah, that's it. No. For all the samples here.
It was like $8.
It was $8. It was like 8 samples. I'm like, no. I want to pay for everything, sir. It's $8. Yeah, I heard you, but I want to pay for it all. You're not following me here, lady.
Matt, I'm telling you right now, man.
Dude, shut up. It's $8.
No, I didn't say shut up. I'm like, dude. I'm telling you, that's the price.
You're like, welcome to Middleton.
You want to buy some more? I did say that's exactly what I said.
You said. Welcome to Middleton. I'm like, all right, because I'm like, in Chicago, this would have cost, like outside of Chicago, this would have cost like $40.
We had 2 flights.
Competitors in the beauty contest are rated on, amongst other things, the size of their lips and cheeks, which is where the illicit use of Botox comes in. Although the rewards for winning are great, a truly beautiful camel does not come cheap. Only people who have the financial ability to compete on the rare and beautiful camels, said head judge Fauzan Almaty.
Before I need to step away to switch the screen out.
That's enough, yeah.
I just want to say camel lips and cheeks are a judgeable thing. I'm guessing that, well, I do know that.
You don't think they judge camel toe?
No, but in this, that's totally different. That's like a butt in front. In this area, they view them like we view horses in like that like competitive capacity. So
and well, my company just got back from India. He was in India 2.5 weeks, and
what you like? I'm sorry, you're what?
Yeah,
my owner.
Yeah.
Oh God, we don't want to go there.
He's in India and had India, a cow is sacred, and cows just wander around and so there's no beef. You don't eat beef. You eat mutton and chicken.
Mutton.
Yeah.
Did you eat? No,
I've never had mutton. Never had mutton.
Don't do it.
So like, mutton is just like an older sheep.
Yeah, but it's like eating rubber. It's not good. Don't do it. It's disgusting.
This doesn't sound good. All right, so camel contest.
That's a horrible name. You're like, what do you want?
Yeah,
what's
mutton.
the most enticing food?
Right,
mutton.
Like, could you give it a better name? Maybe?
No, yeah, it sounds like. It sounds like. I got stuck in the mud. I got out of my car to like fix it, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I might as well just have a handful of mutton.
I was stuck in the mutton. All right, so that's news that you should know, and Jason always finds entertaining stories for you. First one is still unbelievable from the Mirror, but all right. So each week I tell you about some dumb criminals, and I'll take a little different angle on it this week here. I came across this article from the Daily Detroit, which why wouldn't you read that? Book gives tips on how not to be a dumb criminal. So I'm going to read that again. Book gives tips on how not to be a dumb criminal.
Basically, what Matt is doing is trying to eliminate this segment by you guys just not doing it.
Crystal Banks got into the bail bonds business 18 years ago, right out of high school. Since then, she's learned the courts and how they work in the southeastern area of Michigan. She began giving her clients tips on how to protect their rights and better deal with the system. Banks said, I found that just giving them a little bit of knowledge changed their outcomes. It was really helping them. Now, Banks is an author of the book called Don't Be a Dumb Criminal. It also has a different title to it called Don't Be a Dumbass Criminal. I found that people don't understand.
Maybe more like my writing style.
They don't know their rights. They don't know how to hire an attorney. They don't know how to look for the right attorney. They don't know how to fire an attorney. Banks said if you need an attorney, you should shop for one like you're buying a house. Don't buy the first one you see. She suggests contacting at least 5 lawyers before making a decision. She stressed that people need to know the Miranda rights to remain silent because microphones are listening. Here's my advice to everyone out there, because I was just like floored that there's a book out on how not to be a dumb criminal. Here's a better book. It's a pamphlet I have, actually. It's 1 page. It's called How Not to Be a Criminal. Just don't be a criminal. Let's start there. Well, instead of not being a dumb criminal, just don't be a criminal.
Can we put out like a flyer that just says, stop it?
Yeah. Stop doing illegal things. Here's the flyer. Thank you.
Another thing that just stood out of my mind, you actually told me in the kitchen, but now it just was like, wait, what? She became a bail bondsman right out of high school. I was just trying to think, like, what natural progression is that? Like, I worked at a grocery store. I'm just trying to think of like someone like, well, I graduated. What am I going to do? College? No, that's like Christmas vacation. College? Carnival.
Yeah.
You know, Detroit. College? Bail bondsman.
There's a story to it, and I'm sure I guarantee there was like family history and
odd path.
Yes,
but there's got to be something that
there's
led
a reason
her there.
behind it, right?
Yeah,
you don't just wake up one day and
the
sweetheart, what do you want to grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up?
The career counselors are like, well, you can do JUCO, you can go to a 4 university, or here's a good program to be a bail bondsman.
You know, it's funny. The other night, so Tuesday nights, I volunteer with the junior high, senior high youth group at church, and so we were sitting in our small group, which was 17 kids, so real small. And one of the questions that we went around the room was, what's your dream job? As you sit right now as an 8th grader or a 9th grader, what's your dream job? And most were, the typical answer you'd expect. 2 of them, I was like, okay. One kid said a Microsoft engineer. I'm like, all right, pretty specific. The other one was like a biochemical engineer. I'm like, okay, that's like, I'm like, okay, at as a 9th grader, they were either 8th or 9th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they might be in AP classes.
I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive though. That's your goal for it.
I mean, AP science classes.
Yeah.
I mean, the teacher is definitely saying like, here's the careers. But still, that is very specific.
At 14, 15, yeah. I was hoping to get through high school.
I'm just going to say right now, those kids are never going to get laid. Not never, but not until they're working for Microsoft.
And making,
Yeah.
Big bucks. All right.
You're not rolling through high school being like, I want to be a
ladies.
Microsoft engineer. They're like, yeah.
The kid who wants to be the engineer, the biochemical thing, one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet in your life, too. Absolute, just super nice kid.
Isn't it like on the opposite side of the spectrum with the ladies? That's like the kiss of death for us.
To be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she's got a great personality. Or no,
total
actually,
friend
now
zone.
when you meet her.
Now
when you meet her, like if we meet people on our own and they're like super cool, that's one thing. But when you've got like the girl who's trying to like hook you up, who says, "Oh my God, you guys," she has like the nicest
best
personality.
Yeah.
You're immediately like, boy,
nothing. I'm good. I go for crazy psycho. Let's go there.
We all do.
All right. So from Dumb Criminals, we send you into Dumb Apps, and this week's edition of Dumb Apps is presented to you as always by Jason Ferrari.
All right, I'm gonna close.
Wow, these are lengthy ones. Oh no, you increased the font.
Yeah, but no. But they're also. I had to put lengthy descriptions on because it's like what? All right, this shit, dude.
What?
My vision is so bad.
Okay,
hold on.
Can you do it? Here,
hold on.
Here. Wait, can I lift the screen up towards you?
No. I'm gonna do this.
You gonna blow it up?
I have to.
There we go.
Oh, 36. Will that work?
Whoa! If you can't see that, we got a real problem.
No, I can see that.
That I hope. All right.
So the first one, I still have to close one eye though.
Do you really?
Yeah, my vision's really bad.
Dude, when you going?
Just this eye.
When you going?
Well, I just lost my glasses.
I know, but you said you gotta go to the doctor.
Well, I'm gonna go to Target Optical and buy some cheap ass shit. Okay, Screen Cleaner is
the name of the app.
Yes. Wow. Actually, the funny thing is, I went and searched for it, and it's called Screen Clean, but it changed from Screen Cleaner.
Okay.
And they made it one word. So Screen Clean sounds like an application with intentions of actually being useful.
Sure.
Like maybe it removes unused applications, which is what I thought when I first read it.
No, that sounds
from your
smart.
home screen, or maybe it erases glitches and artifacts from damaged videos. Nah, instead, Cleaner shows videos of cute little puppies, L-I-L, licking your Android's phone display. It's also available in iTunes now, by the way. So this must have been an older review because I looked it up in iPhone. To clean it. So puppies are from the inside, licking your screen to clean it. You can put a Labrador, a Schnauzer, or a Bulldog on window details. So those are the 3 default things. That is still the case. And you have to pay for this, by the way. You can also get different versions of with different dogs, for an additional $1.99.
That's ridiculous.
So that is Screen Cleaner, or as it evolved into Screen Clean.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. So this next one is called, and I looked up the pronunciation just to make sure, because this word could be floret or floret, depending on like what it's describing. So in the context of this, I looked it up on the iTunes store. It is called Floret.
Floret.
It is an app that specializes in, and they put it in quote. I love when they put it in quotes. Virtual romance.
All right.
This is not to be confused with online dating, where you meet someone with the intent to eventually, hopefully, mingle with them and their private parts. Okay, so obviously the private parts one, that's the review. Like, that's not in their description, but I like to merge the review and the in person. No. Virtual romance is dating someone solely online without ever intending to meet the person. To quote Florette, virtual romance is fun, safe, and time efficient. You can enjoy all the good aspects of romantic communication without the headaches and responsibilities. It's also just one tap away, available whenever you feel like doing it.
So it's just, if you want to, like, just...
It's like that movie, what is, I never watched it, but Her, right? Yeah. So...
Or, no, I just immediately thought it's a way that you can just, like, send naughty pictures to a stranger. You don't have to meet.
But I feel like this doesn't even take it there. I feel like this is virtual companionship. You know, and I understand, like, people are lonely and stuff, but this is, like, really... It's
Rent
weird,
a fish.
Man. It's weird. Yeah. Where was that? Tokyo?
No, I think it was England.
I don't know where it was. Somewhere on one of our early. God, we're at 22. Yeah. I can't remember yesterday. So, all right.
Wow. So that's this week's edition of Dumb Apps. Jason brings it to you every week. 2 of the dumbest apps that are actually available and real things. That's how we end segment 2.
Now that I think about this, though, from what you just came up with and what we're continually coming up with, you came up with a way that we can maybe eliminate dumb criminals from this, if only people would stop being dumb criminals.
Stop committing crime.
And since the beginning, we've cut it down from 5 to 2 just because, I don't know, we want a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to run out of these, right? Like, it's not.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not that
though.
Matt and I wake up and I'm like, you know what? When I listen to our show, what I really need to keep is dumb apps.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think it's going to run out,
want them
though.
to stop.
I don't think it's going to.
I want both of these things to stop. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Anyway, sorry, bud.
That's right. Yeah, we end segment 2 with dumb apps, and Jason gives them to you each week. We'll take a brief timeout, and we'll come back and wrap up our podcast with our final segment. It's Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's first brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville.
Yeah, I got the daughter in the clinic getting cured off the wild turkey. And the older boy, bless his soul, is preparing for his career.
College?
Carnival.
You gotta be proud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, last season he was a pixie dust spreader on a tilt-a-whirl. And he thinks that maybe next year he'll be guessing people's weight or barking for the yak woman. You ever see her?
No.
Yeah, she's got these big horns growing right out above her ear. Yeah, she's ugly as sin, but a sweet gal and a hell of a good cook.
Welcome back in. It's segment 3, episode 22, Marples, Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything, brought to you by Mickey Finn's. Check them out on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. Live entertainment every Friday and Saturday. Kolsch is back on tap. If you missed Santa's Magic, you missed it for 2017, early 2018. You have to wait till Thanksgiving. We always start off segment 3 with our best tweets, and I've been doing now for 21 episods.
You haven't been doing parents.
No, whatever.
No.
I know. Once I said it, I knew that wasn't
Maybe
correct, but I was going to go with it.
8.
Yeah, it's fine. We'd always start off with the funniest tweets from parents each week, according to the Huffington Post. And I think what happened this week, because they didn't post any new ones for this week, I think they were so funny this week that they were unable to actually get that posted online because they were too busy laughing.
They just couldn't pick them.
They couldn't do it.
So good.
So for whatever reason, there were no funny tweets from parents this week. So get on it, Huffington Post. We need you to tweet because without it, there's no humor in the world. So that just brings us to our regular old, 5 tweets of the handles that we follow that are boring and unfunny.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Damn you, boring and unfunny. The one, yeah, actually, it's true. Like last week, oh man, I flamed out on the last 2. Like I was like crickets.
Oh.
So anyway, read the Twitter handle. At what is it? It's Bill.
That's Bill in Capitol Hill. That's Bill Myers.
Okay.
I know him. He's a listener. From the Score. Great dude.
No, I can't see it. But this makes me so happy. The tweet is, "Stop trying to make Dilly Dilly happen," with a photo of, for those of you who haven't seen Mean Girls, I'm sorry, you should watch it, with Fetch. It's not going to happen, I believe, is in the movie. But yeah, I've tweeted out this from our handle.
Yeah.
Dilly Dilly is stupid, and please stop. Please stop.
So that's from my guy. His Twitter handle is at Bill Cap Hill. So stop trying to make Dilly Dilly happen. It was funny. My son said Dilly Dilly the other day because the commercial came on.
Commercials.
Yeah, he was just like,
he's been watching sports, and that is not. It won't. That commercial won't stop.
Yeah, Dilly Dilly. Tomorrow, big game. Bulls Lakers. Hank's ready.
All right,
we're excited for it.
Tomorrow, I will not be watching.
That's
Bulls
great.
Lakers.
I'm glad you picked Bill Cap Hill. That's my guy. Bill Myers, great guy.
I'm telling you, dude. I scrolled through a lot of tweets. Dude, I don't just fuck around. I don't like pick what like day one.
I'm gonna have to text him on the way home. I'll text him.
Do it.
Yeah.
I go through. I went from this through like the 14th.
Yeah.
I went through and picked stuff.
Nice.
Like literally, the segment is best tweets of the week. I'm not gonna pick something today for laziness. You know that Adam Lefkoe. What is his actual handle?
It's at Adam Lefkoe.
Okay, just
and
to make sure.
Lefka.
But he and Chris Sims, the Phil Sims' son, who also played in the NFL, put out this tweet, and I appreciate it so much. Read the tweet that he's responding to.
Okay, I'll move it back over for you, but my mic's not geared that way. All right, this is from someone at the Biddy69. Says Sims is a effing loser who couldn't hack it in the Patriots organization. Also, next time I see him in New York City, I'll effing trip him. And then Adam Lefkoe.
And then tagged Adam. So I don't know if you've ever, as listeners, if you've ever seen Chris Sims.
Dude was an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, but he's like 6'5".
No,
he's a big guy, dude,
yes.
right? So
Adam Lefkoe responded to that.
And they do a show together, but I think he would say this regardless. Sims, would whoop your ass. People don't realize how big Chris is, and that he's a Jersey meathead. It's just funny, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like people actually from being a score personality and the kind of ignorant shit that people say. So I don't know if I brought this up on the show before, but in job interviews before, I've been asked with the career I do, like social media and strategy and stuff like that, like what channels do you think are great? And, I've done Nike, I've done stuff for Hilton, Hyatt, like I've worked with big brands. And I think Grubhub is one of the best managed handles.
This is pretty funny.
If you guys don't follow Grubhub, follow them on Twitter. I mean,
which just made me think of real quick here. Off derail a second. You've started following and reading the Wendy's Twitter, which is
of course
everything I said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hysterical, right?
But they're
whoever does that is great.
Yeah, their content, like their outbound content, isn't like the greatest thing because it's Wendy's, so you can't be like that guy. Their responses are hysterical because you could tell,
it's great.
So,
I was so
just.
Great. All right, so Grubhub.
No, but just a brief explanation of these handles have what's called a community manager, which means someone sits there and monitors.
Yep.
And they've given this guy creative license, guy, girl, whoever it is, to be able to respond in like a normal, humanized tone and allow them to be funny.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's great. So Grubhub, honestly, man, go follow them on Twitter. They have like really funny content. I had 5 posts this week that they had that I thought were funny.
So this
one's my favorite.
This tweet from someone is and I don't mean in a derogatory fashion, but this is not someone.
Right.
Okay. This is just like a regular person.
I just like the fact that this is not someone we follow, but we do follow Grubhub. Someone, what is that handle?
It's at Lauren Blowview.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. However the pronunciation.
She said,
and the username is Little Cyclone.
Okay. So horrible name, but she said Grubhub is my booty call. And when I read that, I'm like, that's pretty good, right? The fact that Grubhub, who is a giant ass company, retweeted it. I just loved it. I don't know, because like Matt was saying,
retweeted it with an emoji face.
Yes, in our feed, we see things that people we follow retweet. And
it's a sarcastic, smiley emoji face.
I just think it's excellent.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Because that's a big company who's like, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't care. All right. So this one, SNL tweeted it out. Leslie Jones tweeted it out today. And if you don't know, Will Ferrell and Chris Stapleton are the people on SNL this week. Matt doesn't watch. I don't know that I've missed an episode in my entire life. Yeah. And I've also gone back on Hulu and watched 75 to 85 to make sure.
So so this Saturday, Will Ferrell, Chris Stapleton, that's a pretty powerful duo right there.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a huge lineup.
Huge.
And it's Ferrell, man. He's going to deliver.
So Leslie Jones, this is great.
So Leslie Jones does this montage of her impersonating some of Will's
more popular
characters on SNL. And we're on a freeze frame right now, but I don't have the sound on, so you can play it. But she's doing the cheerleader.
Yep.
Right now. And then it transitions into her doing a very brief thing of Bush. Then, oh God, it's moving faster than it was before.
Harry Carey.
But yeah, so it's Bush.
Alex Trebek.
That's Get Off the Shed. Trebek and cowbell.
The cowbell. So she's banging the cowbell right in Will Ferrell's ear.
In his face, like he did in the sketch.
Yeah.
Very
good stuff.
Oh, God. I am so excited for this.
So, yeah, that's, of course, if you don't follow at NBC SNL. So that's this Saturday. This one right up there. Yeah.
All right.
So, it's your girl.
Yes, this is my girl. I don't know.
No, she's your girl.
Chrissy Teigen is, she's smoke show, but she's super, super funny.
At Chrissy Teigen.
And then I figured there's a follow-up tweet, but we'll just read this and I'll tell you what the follow-up tweet is. But so Chrissy's pregnant with child number 2. John Legend is her husband. So clearly they're going to have some really ugly kids.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Untalented.
So, completely untalented and ugly. Yep. I got home today and ran to go pee-pee.
91,000 likes.
Yeah. And because she nukes like Trump.
Yeah.
She nukes him, and it's boosted her life. But thankfully, I like that it did. I got home today and ran. Oh, you got to turn the screen towards me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
that's right,
guys.
that's
no,
right.
I'm sorry, listeners, that I'm blind. I got home today and ran to go pee-pee. And when you're close to the bathroom, you kind of, what is it? You kind of release because like you're about to pee. I did that and my toilet was gone. So the follow-up thing is they were having some work done on the downstairs bathroom and they removed the toilet.
Wow.
So she ran in, was like, I'm almost there. And then she got in there and there was no toilet. Wow. So I'm guessing either pee pants or pee
that's
floor.
That's pretty good.
One or the other. But I just
over the floor.
Yeah, I know. I found that funny.
No, that's good. So those are our best tweets of the week, which then transitions us into this day in history. And for us today, it is Thursday, January 25th, and I will actually give it's the next day now. My nephew Jeremy, who is in school in Australia, it was his birthday today for us. Yeah, but it's already the 26th now for him. So hope you had a great birthday.
What's he doing?
Jeremy. He's in college out there for a music program.
How the hell did he do? How did that happen?
I don't know if it's the college is Hillsong. I don't know the name, but it's a very, very popular music program.
The process of him getting there.
He's there. Yeah, he's been there for a couple of years now.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Very, very talented guitar player, musician. Yep.
So this day in history, as we all know from the last, let's call it hour, I can't
January
read
25th.
anything, so Matt's going to read this. But I will say that as someone who has become pretty obsessed with Kennedy, this was the turning point and what actually made this guy president. He did this and won as a result of it.
January 25th, 1961. On this day in 1961, President John F. Kennedy becomes the first U.S. president to hold a live televised news conference. From a podium in the State Department auditorium, Kennedy read a prepared statement regarding the famine in the Congo, the release of 2 American aviators from Russian custody, and impending negotiations for an atomic test ban treaty. He then opened the floor for questioning from reporters, answering queries on the variety of topics, including relations with Cuba, voting rights, and food aid to impoverished Americans. So the very first live televised news conference by a U.S. president.
And what I meant by that, my lead-in was it was his campaign's idea to televise the debate.
Yeah.
First time that ever happened. He did very well against Nixon, and it helped get him into the White House. But then he continued this. And now it's been a thing ever since.
It's commonplace, right?
It's been a thing ever since.
And for our lifetimes, one of the what will go down in history is one of the most famous presidential televised press conferences was President Obama announcing the capture and the killing of Osama bin Laden, which I mean was, I remember being in bed and watching just late night TV, and then it comes across that there's going to be an impromptu press conference from the, I think it was the East Room, I want to say, and and then there's speculation of what it was, and then there you sit and listen to an articulate man with character and integrity who was holding the office of president, announcing to the world that the Americans not only captured but killed Osama bin Laden. Very, very remarkable.
As we talked
history
about,
right there. Watching
as we
it,
talked about last week, regardless of political affiliation, that is, other than Clinton, he's the best statesman I've ever seen him since I've been alive.
Yeah, easily the best public speaker that I've witnessed as president.
But statesman, representing the office. Anyway.
All right. January 25th.
Yeah, all three of these are big deals.
January 25th, 1924. It's the first Winter Olympics. On this day, the Winter Olympics take off in style. In where's that at?
I can't see that far.
No, it's a Chamonix. I don't even know where this is in the French Alps.
All I could see is the chick on the horse.
Chamonix, in the French Alps. Spectators were thrilled by the ski jump and bobsled, as well as 12 other events.
Oh, it's Chamonix.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I knew it was something.
Oh man, I'm
no
sorry.
idea.
Yeah, it's
no,
Chamonix.
Right.
It's Chamonix. It's weird. It's spelled weird, but it's Chamonix.
So it's the French Alps. 12 other events, involving a total of 6 sports. The International Winter Sports Week, as it was known, was a great success. And in 1928, the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, officially designated the Winter Olympics, staged in Switzerland, as the second Winter Olympics. One of the dirtiest and most corrupt organizations ever, the IOC.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, a disgusting organization.
Maybe we'll do I think that's next week.
No, we can do it in February when they actually have the Olympics start, the Winter Olympics start in February. We can talk about it.
We need more time.
The IOC
we need more time
is
for this.
Easily the most corrupt and one of the worst organizations in the history of the world.
Actually.
And what they do to countries and host cities is unbelievable.
I feel like this would be a perfect topic to bring up with our hopeful guest for next week.
Oh, for sure. All right, so our final event here this day in history.
This is perfect for Matt's obsession with award shows.
January 25th, 1949, the inaugural Emmy Awards ceremony. On this day, the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences holds its first annual awards ceremony at the Hollywood Athletic Club in L.A. Hollywood's first television academy had been founded 3 years earlier, so that would have been 1946.
Good math, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Former film editor for Frank Capra, who later worked as a grip of Paramount Studios. That's Sid Cassidy, and an entertainment journalist. At the time, only about 50,000 American households had TV sets. So that was the inaugural Emmy Awards ceremony, January 25th, 1949. The most historic one, though, that hasn't happened yet will be the one that I host. So looking forward to that.
Big day, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
First presidential press conference,
right.
First Winter Olympics.
Right.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, but still, first Emmy Awards. I mean, that's a big deal now.
For sure.
I'm sorry, I'm off mic.
Yep. Just get back on mic. All right. Mike misses you. All right, that leads us to our inspirational story of the day. What?
Son of a bitch.
Inspirational story of the day. And this is found at sunnyskies.com. Stuff you find, it's pretty impressive.
Buddy.
And it's skies with a Z.
Yes.
Sunny Skies.
Well, because you know that the regular spelling wasn't available because someone probably who does not provide motivational content owns that domain.
Sunny Skies was actually my original rap name.
That being said, you can
read the headline.
So sorry I can't read, guys.
You
got to turn it towards me, though.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
All right. 8-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy, homeless for years, gets his own bed for the first time and cries tears of joy. There is a lot more in this story. Okay. So, yeah, it's man.
All right, 2012,
That's a great one.
Deanna Neely lost her job, and soon after her home, she and her son, Dane, lived in a homeless shelter for years before finally receiving housing. That's when Humble Design, a Detroit-based charity that furnishes homes with donated goods for people transitioning out of shelters, stepped in. After losing her job, this single mother and her 8-year-old son became homeless, which is just horrible. Humble Design shared on a Facebook video post. They found refuge at a shelter and eventually received housing. When we visited them earlier this week, they just had an air mattress on the ground and a few camp chairs. With the help of volunteers from J.C. Miller Real Estate, we're happy to welcome this family home, and just in time for Christmas. We think it might be the best Christmas yet. In the video below, Dane sees his furnished room for the very first time and cries tears of joy. Weeks later, Deanna and her son were in for another surprise. On January 12th, Deanna was presented with a check for $10,000 by the U-Haul Company of Detroit, a national partner of Humble Design. On behalf of the U-Haul Company of Detroit, and to help you realize your dream of nursing school, I'd like to present you with this check for $10,000 at U-Haul's Bill Raines. Congratulations, you're an inspiration to us. Deanna and Dane told ABC News they were very grateful for the experiences. We want to thank everyone for all the love and support we have received. Big shout out to Humble Designs, that company out of Detroit, and also U-Haul, which I've used a handful of times, whether moving homes or apartments,
almost
whatever it might be.
every single time I've moved.
Wow, good move. That's fantastic.
But go to It's Sunny Skies with a Z.
SKYZ.
I watched the video. It's we're on a podcast, so it's a little difficult for us to do that. But again, as we say, we will post things on Twitter to support. But this kid, right? He walks in the house, and he's, I would understand. He's a little confused, like,
right.
This is our house, Then he walks upstairs, and he's like, this is our house? Like, he's still got that look. Then they bring him into his room, and they don't even show on the video, like, the part that he loses it the most about.
Yeah.
But there's a desk, there's some toys and some stuff, and he's already, I think he's probably seen the other side. They just haven't shown it on the video yet. Kid loses it.
Yeah.
Turns around, hugs his mom, looks over and sees like more toys. Looks over, loses it, hugs his mom, and then they bring the camera around, and this is the first time this kid has ever slept in a bed, like his
8 years
own
old.
bed since 8, since he's never slept in his own bed.
Yeah,
it's.
And it reminds me
God.
of the Blind Side, the Michael Orr story,
Yes.
when she gives him his own room and his own
Yeah,
bed.
and she goes down the hall and cries.
He's like, I've never had this before, and she's like, what, your own room? And he's like, no, a bed.
bed.
And I remember watching that, and I'm like, all right, if that's really accurate, if that how it went down, just like, I mean, the things that you just take for granted so much in life, dude was in high school and never had his own bed. I mean, that's insane. And I'm in a period right now where the boys have their own room when they're over, and my mom has a room, and so like when the boys are there, and I'm on the couch or on the pull-up bed, or I sleep on the floor next to my boys.
You've lived a life.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Bed,
but I mean, it's just like you just the things you take for granted that you just never even think of are just part of everyday life aren't that way for everyone. It's just crazy. That's a great story.
Amidst the fun that we have, prepping for the show, doing the show, laughing. We try to keep the show light, but I've really started to look forward to this segment on every show.
Yeah,
because I don't know, man. It's a rough time, man, and it makes me have faith in humanity. So
check it out. It's sunnyskieswithaz.com. Again, big shout out to Humble Design, Detroit-based charity company that provides furnishing for people coming out of transitioning from shelters. And then also a big shout out to U-Haul, $10,000 check for Deanna to go to nursing school and realize that dream.
God,
so
that's just
well done.
That's just great.
Very well done.
On top of it, man.
Yep, very well done. All right, that wraps up episode number 22. It's called Marples. Thank you for downloading and being a part of each week. We do appreciate your faithful listening, telling people about the podcast. Remember, next week, potentially, if we get everything worked out and lined up, we could have a guest. We'll do a little different format, do a long-form interview with...
If not, we have no format. We're just going to look at each other.
And talk. which we do now. But again, thanks for listening to episode 22. Big thanks to our good friends over at Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area, and also our presenting sponsor, Mickey Finn's, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. Kolsch on tap, live entertainment every weekend. Check them out. Once again, Vaticola Ferrari, discuss everything, afde@gmail.com. Follow on Twitter @AFDE Show, and also on Facebook.com/AFDE Show. Thanks for being here. On behalf of Jason, myself, it's Vaticola Ferrari. We'll talk to you episode 23.